Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It's a very exciting day in the library. We have completed the Read What You Own challenge. Now, for those of you who haven't been here before, or haven't heard me talk about this in probably every video in the past 3 months, the Read What You Own challenge is a challenge that I started on November 1st of 2025 last year, in which I had to read 12,500 pages previously owned text before I could buy any new reading material for this library. Now, I was able to finish this up right at the beginning of this month. So I think I've only had one video come out since then. It's been a kind of a slow week. But now that it is done, I went through and I bought a lot of books. So we're going to talk about them today. A lot of this is works in translation. A lot of this is like old Greek stuff. A lot of it is very, very exciting. There's a couple of things in here that I went to search for here on YouTube, and I realized that pretty much no discussion of any real kind came up on at least some of these books. So we're all going to be able to find something very cool today. I'm going to go over each book. I'm going to tell you where it's from. I'm going to tell you when it's from, when it was originally produced, to the best of what I could find. I might get a date or a location wrong somewhere in here. I've done the best that I can. Check it out. Just give me the grace on that a little bit. I think everything I have in here should be pretty good. So I'll tell you that, and then I'll give you a couple sentences about the book, and then we will move on. And if you would like, we could discuss it further in the comments, or I will be happy to make further videos because these will be coming up. These are very exciting. Let's get started. The very first book that I have on here is a shorty little tiny thing. Oh, and just so you know, since pretty much most of these are in translation, I'm going to butcher a lot of names right now, so don't roast me. I'm doing the best that I can. We have The Trumpets of Jericho by Unica Zürn. This was written around 1950s or 1960s Germany, I believe. And our couple sentences on this one. A young woman in a tower battles psychologically with her unborn son in this surreal, dark tale that transforms into a nightmarish exploration of motherhood and bodily boundaries. A lot of these, there's going to be a bend of surrealism, absurdism, mental decay, structural decay. It's kind of my thing right now, and I really leaned into it on this. This is the first start of that. The next book that I have is also another little tiny Wakefield Press book. This is Murder Most Serene by Gabrielle Wittkop, or Gabrielle Wittkop. I'm not entirely sure. This is from 2000, France. And the blurb goes, in the last days of the Venetian Republic, Count Avis Lanzi's successive wives suffer symptoms, agonizing deaths in this dark, sardonic tale of corruption and decay. Very exciting. And these are tiny. These are both really tiny, so you could pretty much, if you need to go to the grocery store, fucking throw one of these things in there, freak the people out behind you in line. Next up, this is a play that I was rather excited to get. Here we have By the Bog of Cats by Marina Carr. This first showed in Ireland in 1998. This play tells the story of Hester Swain, an Irish traveler with a deep and unearthly connection to her land. Tormented by the memory of a mother who deserted her, Hester is once again betrayed. On the brink of despair, she embarks on a terrible journey of vengeance as the secrets of her tangled history are revealed. Sounds excellent. The next up, our first full-length, actually no, it's not even a novel. We have The Collected Stories of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. These are collected from approximately 1947 to 1972 from Colombia. Now, if you're familiar, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, he is the writer who gave us The 100 Years of Solitude, which I have here. Beautiful, gorgeous book. This is all of his short stories. I want to be weaving these in, and it was an excellent get to have. Super excited. This next block is going to be the Penguin Classics. Started up with the black strap, and then some deluxe editions. This first one, I thought I had this already, but apparently I didn't. This is John Milton's Paradise Lost. This was a major turning point in literature and art. I'll just read the blurb here. An epic poem exploring the origins of man's existence, featuring a vast cosmos, memorable characters, and intense human tragedy. This is like the first depiction of like Satan in the way that he is now. I believe that's true. Following up, our very next Penguin classic is Thomas Hardy's Tess of the D'Urbervilles. I had a big hardcover that has Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Return of the Native, and a collection of short stories. I am ditching that, and I'm going to basically just full Penguin classics on these. I don't know a whole ton of this outside of it's super fucking sad, apparently. That's why I bought it. 1891 from the UK on this one. A young rural woman's life is shattered by seduction, betrayal, and societal hypocrisy in Victorian England. It sounds very much like something else that's actually going to come up here pretty soon. The next in our Penguin Classics, and a book that I didn't know was quite this fucking long, we have The Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio, I think is the way I say that. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments. This is written somewhere around the year 1353 in the Republic of Florence. This is a book that I've heard a million things about in pop culture, mainly knowing of it, but knowing of its existence, but not really knowing much of it. A lot of people say it's hugely influential on the canon of Western literature in general, along with things like Paradise Lost. A collection of 100 captivating tales woven with wit, wisdom, and a keen observation of human nature, set against a backdrop of 14th century Florence ravaged by the Black Plague. Fuck it. Heavy metal, dude. Next in our Penguins, possibly the coolest book cover I have in this whole book haul here, The Adventures of Simplicissimus, there we go, by Hans Jakob Christoffel von Grimmelshausen. That's the fucking name, dude. This is from Germany, 1668. A young boy's journey through a world torn apart by war, revealing its absurdity, horror, and the transformative power of human experience. From what I've heard, this is in a lot of ways like one of the great classics of Germany. Very excited. It looks fucking sick. Coming up next here, we're going into a bit of I believe this is Greece? Greece? Yes, 458 BC, Athens, Greece. With a dude's name that I've never quite been able to pronounce. It's a trilogy of plays. Aeschylus. It is the Oresteia. I have good luck. Agamemnon, the libation bearers, and the Eumenides. Check it out yourself. I have no fucking idea. Yeah, this should be, apparently it should be pretty fucking cool. Our blurb on this: tragic cycle of murder, vengeance, and the birth of a new justice system from ancient barbaric practices. All right. Next up, more ancient Greece. I got a hair up my ass, apparently, for this ancient Greek theater. I have the 3 Theban plays, including Antigone, Oedipus the King, and Oedipus at Colonus. 3 interconnected Greek tragedies following Oedipus, who unknowingly kills his father and marries his mother, and his daughter Antigone's later defiance of the law to bury her brother. I'm all down for some old school tragedy. I love that shit. Now, moving into a bit of poetry here. This is The Mirror of My Heart, 1,000 Years of Persian Poetry. Can't really put a time or a place on this. The time is 1,000 years until now, and the place is the Islamic world. A lot of that. Very, very sick. Captivating anthology of Persian women poets spanning a millennium, unveiling their distinctive voices and perspectives. I'm very excited. Actually, very, very excited about that. Our next is the first nonfiction, I think, on here. Yes, the first nonfiction on here. More ancient as well again. This is The Art of Happiness by Epicurus from 3rd century BC Athens, Greece. Now, back in the day, there were 2 schools of thought that were going around. There were the Stoics and there were the Epicureans. This is his teachings, and I'm very excited to see what he's got to say. This book contains the teaching of Epicurus, a highly influential Greek philosopher on life, death, religion, science, happiness, morality, and friendship. The next, we're moving to Norway for this next little block here. We have Pan by Knut Hamsun. This is 1894, Norway. Knut Hamsun came to me. I had never heard of him. I'd never thought of him before. My neighbor John, Knut is his favorite author, hands down, no holds barred. So I had to check it out so I can converse with my buddy and see if we could have something to talk about. A solitary hunter lives in a forest hut in Norway until his life is transformed by his encounter with a mysterious girl named Edvarda, Nobel Prize winner's psychological tale. All right. I'm down. Another Knut Hamsun book I have here. Which one is this? This is Growth of the Soil. Also Norway. This one published in 1917. Oh goodness, this... I put the tiny books on the bottom, so the structural integrity of this is a little scary to me. A Nobel Prize-winning novel about a man who settles in rural Norway, depicting his family's relationship with nature and their struggles with encroaching modernity across 2 books. I guess 2 books are in there. Beautiful. And then we have the final Knut Hamsun book that I got. This is Hunger. This was published in 1890. A struggling writer wanders through Christiania, battling extreme hunger and psychological turmoil. As starvation intensifies, reality blurs with delusions in this groundbreaking existential narrative. Excellent. Now we are through the blackback Penguins. We're into Penguin Deluxe editions. My favorite. I did it. I pulled the bullet, bought Anna Karenina. The Big Book of Infidelity, apparently beautifully written. It's long as shit. We'll see. Our blurb here for Anna Karenina, Leo Tolstoy, Russia, 1878. In 19th century Russia, a passionate affair between rebellious Anna and Count Vronsky leads to tragedy as she rejects her loveless marriage, facing society's hypocrisy. Yes. It's just a big book about cheating and following, going for your love, I guess. I'll see. A lot of people say it's their favorite book ever written. This next one, I think, might be a little bit more up my alley because I picked up on the glowing recommendation of Ursula K. Le Guin herself. I got To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. This is her 1927 novel. Virginia Woolf is from the UK. A family's summer vacation on Scotland's Isle of Skye is disrupted by World War I, forcing them to confront change, loss, and time's relentless march. I have not read any Virginia Woolf yet, and I'm very excited to have for some Virginia Woolf on the shelf now that I can get to here, hopefully very soon. Along with that, I also picked up the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition of Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. This is her publication from 1925, a novel about a woman preparing for a party and reflecting on her life, set in post-war I London. I'm expecting a lot of introspective, just like inner monologue a lot. I think this might be a book where there's like one or two main characters, or at least a very small cast of characters in this. I really love those, to where it's just purely internal. I have very, very high hopes for this. The final Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition that I got is something that I'm so excited for. This is The Book of Imaginary Beasts by Jorge Luis Borges. I don't really need to go off of my notes all too much for this one, but it's kind of like the encyclopedia of fake shit is how it's set up. I love it. I've already started flipping through it. It's excellent. Just go buy it now. Sell it out. This is from 1957 in Mexico. A comprehensive compilation of 116 mythical and fantastical creatures from literature and folklore, featuring illustrations by Peter Sees alongside detailed descriptions of each imaginary being. Fucking yes. Yes. All right. This next one is starting another little block here of Wakefield. We're going back. We have here The Tower of Love by Rothschild. This one's going to be a fucking doozy, man. When was this released? This is 1899 from France. A young sailor becomes assistant keeper at Osman Lighthouse, where he faces psychological torment, sexual obsession, and mounting horror while battling nature's forces. There was one description of this which said that he falls into necrophilia, but it's like he's like the only dude there. So I'm like, what dead shit are you? Seals? What are we talking? I have no answers, only questions with this, but it sounds horrifying, and I'm here for it. Fittingly enough, speaking of horrifying, we have The City of Unspeakable Fear by Jean Ray. You pick, you decide. I'm not quite sure. 1943. This was written and published in Nazi-occupied Belgium in 1943. So this is going to be some shit. In Sleepy Ingersham, Sidney Triggs, a man with a false identity as a detective, faces murderous phantoms and mysterious deaths as his peaceful retirement transforms into supernatural terror and investigation. Dude playing a cop has to become a real cop, and all kinds of just horribly fucked up shit happens. Yes, I am here for it. Next book in our Wakefield block here, I'm going to try to speed it up because we're not even halfway through here. We have Vacated Landscape by Jean Lahogue? Lahogue? Jean? I'm not entirely sure. Another Wakefield Press book. This is 1977 from France. An editor discovers a manuscript mirroring their life, leading to a mysterious investigation in the town of V, where reality bends like a Mobius strip. This book in particular is giving me a lot of reminiscence of Lisa Tuttle, My Death. If you've heard of that, kind of like that. It's very similar. I'm very, very, very intrigued and interested in seeing what that is all about. The next book I have, this is another excellent book cover. We have The Book of Disquiet, the complete edition by Fernando Pessoa. This is 1982 Portugal. A profound, melancholic collection of observations and aphorisms grappling with life's eternal questions. I've heard a lot of people say some very cool things about this. Apparently it's a horribly sad book. I think the vast majority of these are horribly sad books, but that one's no exception. It fits right in. It's a glorious... Is this New Directions or Open Letter? The New Directions hardcovers are so excellent. No dust jackets. It's all naked. Everything's painted on. You've got beautiful end papers, yellow with like typewriter page on them. It's just a gorgeous book. It's super well made. The binding's tight, but you could feel it's going to have give to it. It's really, really nicely made book. Keep your eye out for these hardcover New Directions books. They do more limited runs because it's a smaller company. It's getting bigger, but excellent. Now, I have the dust jacket off of this, but it just has a picture of Hemingway's young face on it. I picked up The Sun Also Rises and Other Writings from 1918 to 1926. I'm just going to hold it up here. This is one of the Hemingway Library of America editions in this beautiful red. What's the income? Covers are just Library of America. A comprehensive collection of writings from 1918 to 1926, including journalism work, short stories, and novels that showcase the development of Hemingway's distinctive prose style in Paris. Excellent. Very beautiful. I'm super excited to have this on my shelf and to get it into my reading life. This next book that I'm going to talk about is the only book that is not here and I won't be able to show you. It's a 2-box set, another Library of America. I got the Shirley Jackson box set. Covers everything from 1940s to 1965, a collection of 6 novels, a famous story collection, and 21 other stories by Shirley Jackson, including The Lottery, The Haunting of Hill House, and We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Those 3 books mentioned right there, well, those 2 books and 1 short story mentioned there, I have read all 3 of them. Every single one of them is excellent. Shirley Jackson is just a phenomenal writer. You should love her. I love her. It's perfect. She's really, really, really good. Back to the books that I actually do have here. I went and I bought myself some Stanislaw Lem books. One of my favorite science fiction writers. He was from Poland, mid-century, early mid-century kind of for a lot of it. He wrote Solaris, if you've read Solaris or if you've heard of Solaris. There's a 4-book series, starting with the Star Diaries. Star Diaries was released in 1957 in Poland. A space traveler encounters time anomalies investigates a rebellious ship's computer colony and joins an organization attempting to clean up messy world history through time travel. I'm very interested. I'm very curious to see where it goes, especially because I picked up book 2 as well, and I think I'm more interested in this one. This one sounds way more cool to me. This is Memoirs Found in a Bathtub by Stanislav Lem. And this one was released. When was this released? 1961. A man is trapped in an underground community and records his strange life in memoirs that survive a paper-destroying blight that obliterated much of the planet's written history. I hear this is all about just like bureaucratic absurdity on almost like a Philip K. Dick level, and it has me kind of laughing already at the thought of it. I've read two Stanislav Lem novels at this time, and this one has me excited because I think it sounds funny. The last Stanislav Lem that I picked up is one of his later novels, and this is Fiasco. I think this is one of the later novels. Yep, Fiasco, 1987. A peaceful exploratory mission encounters a hostile alien civilization, risking grave consequences to uncover their secrets. That is Fiasco. Fiasco reminds me a lot of Eden, also by Stanislav Lem, another later science fiction first contact. And it is at this moment that my camera died. Look forward to part 2 tomorrow.